Alright, we got this 2015 Malibu. It was in, it's been about a week and a half, something like that. 1,000 miles on it since the service was done. It was setting a code on a rocker actuator. Let me see if I can find the vehicle. I don't know if I can actually zoom in so you guys can see this better. 2050 Chevy Malibu. Intake rocker arm, solenoid valve stuck off. Let's see if we can zoom in. Some on the screen. Sometimes this thing will zoom good. Sometimes it won't. I don't get it. Let me see if I can do it from the camera. Annoying. Wish I had a remote. But we don't. Let's see if we can get it to zoom. Zoom. Or as Erica would say, enhance. Enhance. And we enhance, we can't see the screen. Let's see if we can get you over there to see the screen. And enhance as far as we can take it. Alright, that's about as far as we can get it. I can do a screen recorder, but I think my screen recorder here is acting up because of the internet. Alright. So we pulled the code again, and intake rocker, P16D0. So we're going to activate, go into the car again, look a little deeper into this code. Then we're going to pull out the ATS scope and do some in-cylinder while activating the solenoid. When it was in the last time, we activated the solenoid manually. Wasn't really under load, no oil pressure on the solenoid. Actuator wasn't tested other than using GDS2. Tested it, it seemed like it functioned. So I'm going to look a little deeper. I'm actually going to go in cylinder and see if I can actually see what the valves do when the solenoid is activated through GDS. I'm not going to do it through the snap-on device. 2015, I'd rather do it with GDS2. But we're going to connect to it with the snap-on full code and show you a little of the snap-on so-called intelligent diag, which it has its, you know, what can I say, contributions to the diagnosis. Is it excellent? No, I wouldn't go quite that far. Is it usable? Yeah, it's usable. My opinion, usable better if you have a prescription to shop keys or Mitchell, which I do. I have a subscription with shop key, and I find the Snap-on is decent with that subscription. Try to get out of your way where you can actually see. We gotta wait for the VCI to be seen by the scan tool. Haven't had my coffee yet this morning. It's Saturday afternoon, about 12 o'clock. Got a pop going on. Still waiting on the VCI. Hopefully it doesn't have me a glitch this morning. I haven't had many lately, but I have had a few. And others have, you know, told me about this. Me, I hadn't had that many of them, but there it is, I'm good. So we're good. We're on the car already, we're gonna go into the car. We're gonna do a full system scan, just common practice by me, but I really only need to go to the engine. That's where my problem exists. But we're gonna walk through the full scan for people that may not have actually seen it in action. You'll see the Snap-on. In my opinion, it does it fairly quick. We actually have two codes, the P15 intake rocker. I'll bring you up here so you guys can see it better. I can see what's going on the iPad. Over there, there's our scans. We're through 7 systems so far. Let's Snap-on finish its scan, let you guys get a look while it's doing it. And you know, because this screen recorder that I installed on here, it needs to be connected to the internet for some reason, and my internet is kind of lame right now. So I'm like dial up going on here. We got the Chantel come in to upgrade us to a better service. So it saved the report. We've only got codes in the engine. I don't think there's any other. Those are the same codes. And a 16D0. Now we're going to go into diagnosis on the 16D0. I'm not worried about the O2 because I am pretty positive that it's actually causing this code. Alright, replace variable timing control solenoid. Replace rocker arm. Replace VDE solenoid. Now we're going to go down into what I like doing, to go into my OEM repair information, which takes me to my Shop Key Pro. Then I'm looking to OE. And of course they're going to tell me stuff that I've already done. But I haven't got detailed within cylinder just to see if it's going to require me to actually pull this solenoid. Let's check technical bulletin to start with. Something I could have done from a tool. Oil leak. This is something I looked into yesterday. Some good information that is applied. Check 5 and 6 plugs. Some good information there. I've already got that printed out at the other computer when I researched it yesterday. Well, there's no oil leaks present on this engine, but I'm gonna look a little deeper into this one to verify. Because my issues are on that side of the head. Solenoid 2 is the actuator of 3 and 4. Solenoid 1 is the actuator of cylinders 1 and 2. Can't see what you're looking at. There's the engine. We're going to go ahead and get more depth as this. I'll probably set the ATS up and everything first. We'll see if it's actually got any snapshots of the problems that were taking place. We'll go back to it. We'll go back into here. Go back to the scanner. And we'll go back to engine. And I want to look, see if we have any snapshots. We'll go to codes menu, which is where you find it in GM. Free spring failures. We get 2 on the rich lean symptom. Now I'm going to go ahead and go into this one because this is the only code we've set before. And look at it and see what kind of information we have here. Exhaust cam sensor. Angle is 22. Desired is 21. Intake is 20. Where's my desired intake? 20. So the intake is actually pretty close. So we know the variable valve solenoid has nothing to do with this one. It is the rocker. I mean, our desired and actual are really pretty close to the relationship they were commanding. So we know to overlook the so-called sure track, replace the variable valve timing solenoid, is what they say. Let's display codes again. We'll go back and show you that. They say replace the variable valve timing solenoid, a common fix. Replace VVT solenoid, no. Rocker arm valve timing control. That's the area we're looking into, and of course the TSB that is listed for this code. Now we're going to go into it and pull up a wiring diagram to show you the areas that I'm going to be attacking with the wiring diagram and for this code. Let's exit the code. I'm not worried about the code right now. So I can get access to my wiring diagram, find rocker arm control, cylinder head, solenoid pressure. There's my rocker arm actuator. And of course on Mitchell you click on the wiring diagram, then you can get specific on component tests and stuff like that. I'm over here, get out of your way, I'm over here at my rocker arm actuator. I got a 3-wire control, power's present, and of course through grounds from the 2 sides. Actuator 1, actuator 2, let's go into component testing and see if they list anything. This is the rocker arm, not the VVT. But what we're looking at is solenoid 1, solenoid 2 is what we're looking at. The power comes in on pin 2, control for 1 is on 1, and control for 2 is on 3. And that's the actuator solenoid, which I'm going to open up the cover here in a minute to get access to. I'm going to pull a plug. I'm going to start with cylinder 1, and then I'm going to hook GDS to it to actually activate it with GDS and see what waveform I get out of activation. And of course, when it's not activated, save it to my files. Then I'm going to do the same thing and go to cylinder 3 and activate control 2 on the rocker arm solenoid and verify it is activated. And if I see it, then I know more likely. If I don't see it, I'm gonna grab a capture of in cylinder, and I'm gonna grab a capture of the control of the solenoid at the same time while it's under load. When I tested it before, like I said, I did it with no oil pressure load, no load at all, just to see the solenoid, and it looked good. And you know, this is a problem that may be occurring when the solenoid's hot. It may be occurring when load is present, there's pressure present, and I may not be getting that, you know, fault. But it didn't happen for 1,000 miles. So this may actually be an airman issue that's kind of a pain. And if it is electrical, I'm hoping I'll catch something. If not, we're pulling valve cover to look at the pin in the rockers and see if there's actually an issue present there. All right, I'm gonna stop recording now and get set up to do a little more testing with ATS. Need you in here while we're taking this cover off. We get access to our coils, pull to do the in cylinder, and we can give you a little view of the rocker actuator control unit. This is setting the code. Way. All right. This here is our rocker actuator control unit right there, and it has channels in the valve cover that supply the oil to the rockers. And this is the side that is setting the code. We have electrical controls over there. I don't think we can get a good view without pulling the breather, and we're not going to do that because we are testing control and actual valve movement to see what it does. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think you can actually get a good view of it up there, but the pigtail for the connector is right back there. Trying to see right in there. That is our connector right there. And our controls coming from the ECM, of course. And these are the coils, which we will be pulling one from each of the cylinders. 3 and 4 controlled on one solenoid, 1 and 2 on the other. We're going to do 1 and 4 and see if we see a change in valves. Clearly the engine's not going to be running right because we're going to have a dead cylinder at the time while we're running this test. Hopefully it doesn't kick us out of the test, because I want to see that it'll move the valve cover to look into deeper to see if we have a rocker damage. This is the exhaust side, that's the intake side. That is the side that actually has control from this actuator, not the exhaust. The exhaust and intake, time of advance through the VVT system is up here, and both have it, but the rocker, the high and low lift for the rocker is only activated on the intake side. Sorry if I'm not getting me much in the capture. There's a problem, folks. Definitely, they put a difference on that. And that is the one that's setting the code. We're pulling approximately 900 milliamps on that one. So we got a problem electrical. That one is not turning on. Well, there we have it. To save that, we know that's probably a bad. When you've got a conclusion, say, and bad. I'm going to go back to chapter 1 again. Really go over a little more time to look at what really is verified what a problem is. I'll use the cat capture, but that's Illinois 1, and it is pulling major amperage compared to the other one. We're pulling approximately 800 milliamps. And the other one that is not setting the code is only pulling about 70 milliamps. So we're going to go back and get another capture for you to look at. And drop it on 1 control. And that one is not setting our code. And we're going to do the same capture and give you another look at that. And it's hardly even doing anything. I'm going to go a little slower on this one, so you can actually see on and off. And here we go. Actually, really pulling a lot less on 160 milliamps. And what we're pulling on that one. Save that. Again, so the code I made the difference in that cylinder. I'm not switching the cylinder that's static and good. Yep, we're pulling roughly 160 milliamps there, and I'm going to need some meters and do the capture there. With a watch and a reset, min max, and I'm not going to do it really like it is already done. I'm going to do lock on 1, and we're going to see what the min max is up there. I'll give you a view of that. Low lift, high lift, low lift, high lift, low lift. That's, we're doing about 178 is our max. And make sure you can see that. We're doing right here on max is 178, 135 is the minimum. Now we're going to do a capture same way after a reset. We're going to go to actuator 2 and do the same thing and look at min max on it. When you do have a bad cylinder. That's it. Yeah, 900 milliamps on that one. And this is the one that's setting the code. Our maximum is 900 milliamps. And do a little video for our Facebook group. take a peek at it. But it looks like we've come to the conclusion on this one. We will have to be replacing the actuator control. And that's the side of the setting. It's pulling too much amperage. I don't know if I'm going to be able to locate an actual minimum amperage pull that thing's supposed to be doing. It clearly is attempting to open and it cannot open. I'm going to do an end cylinder just to see if I can actually see those valves do that. I think that'd be a cool capture. We'll go a little closer to it so we can actually rock it. And we're going to activate rocket assembly valve 1 and watch the change in that pattern, see if it's doing anything. Low left. Oh yeah. And the high left. I think the computer must take control after you command it and change it right back. So we've clearly seen it. I don't know if you can see it on maximum compression. It was 90. I'm going to drop it to low. Computer took back control. Let's take a measurement, see if it's any movement. Okay, come back in. Good. You can see we're thoroughly changing the compression. About 6-8 psi when we make our changes. Now I'm going to shut it off and I'll set up which I'm going to save that power. We'll shut it off real quick. It's changing roughly about 10 psi. It's going to see the valve. I'm going to get a capture on the E-scope. The device control was limited. I thought it would kick me off there shortly. It did. I want to zoom in on these valves. Take a quick look. It moved that timing to the loss of about 180, so it moved it considerably. 9.36. Makes it opening about 35.93 from top to side. Alright, let's go back and measure. Zoom out. And find another one where our compression is changing. You know, we got some real high compression here. Let's check this one. This is when I think we've actually normal performance control. And we've seen we've at 35 on our loss opening. Our intake is at 63. That's the one that should be. Duration should change. It really shouldn't change the time, but duration. The intake pocket, vacuum. When we do the analyze, it should show something. I didn't capture that in the other. I didn't save it. I should have. Get the cursors. Take a quick measure here. Set. Bring the window. Cursor over this one. Exhaust change too. Why would exhaust change it once? I don't know. Emission intake changes certainly. That's the high compression again at 107. The low compression is like 92. Under 90 psi here at this point. Cursors. Nothing approaching off the plot. You can see we're at 66 and 28. Small camshaft. We're at 35 and 60. So here's some considerable movement going on there. Hopefully you guys got most of that. My shoulder wasn't in your way. But that's that capture. 35 to 60. Then we're going to drop back out and come over here. Take a little piece off here. Our compression's up to 110 psi. Big cursors. Window. We can get our cursor set better. I don't see much sense in checking the other cylinder because I know it's not moving. And again, it may actually be moving. But the computer sees the voltage and sets the code as soon as it's not. I'm not going to waste my time because we're chasing a code and wanting the correction for it. And right now the correction looks to be an electrical problem. And I don't know where I saved it though. That's the problem. Bad news though. We're going to go to IEA. East Coast Elite. And we're going to do the same thing and get some captures on it. And we know we're on that one. We're in 300 psi revision 2. We need to zero it. And we need to measure. We're at 1 millisecond. We're going to do a fast capture for 20 seconds. These files are getting so big that my slow internet is dying and trying to get it up. I'm going to do a quick one here and actually go some of my cans and then stop and grab that. Try to get a better idea of when I do this. I could do it. You can clearly see the changes in our compression, and that's what I was after, so I can see the separate takes in it. what we're looking for. High compression vent to a low compression vent that's being achieved while this valve lift is being changed, and of course the volume of air that gets moved into the cylinder. So we're trying to learn a little something here on this type of engine. So you can see as I'm changing the rocker lift position, it is clearly affecting that cylinder. I'm not even going to bother to go in cylinder 2 because I know I've got some type of electrical issue, and that is the issue that we're chasing on this car. It's one of our rentals, it's not a customer's. It's more of a solve problem and gain knowledge thing we got going on this one here, this video I'm making. I'm trying to get a better understanding of this high and low lift system that GM is running with this 2015 2.5L engine. So I'm actually learning something we're always doing in this trade and continue to do, and if you stop you will fall behind real quick. You must constantly be trying to keep up. But we can see it real well in this engine when this changes. And this is something I was after, looking to obtain some information on it. I'm gonna send a photo to my buddies, because I'm sure they want to see some results of this too. Give them a little insight on it. I believe a couple of them are familiar with it. Me, I'm not. I've read about it. Have I actually serviced one? I have not. I've read about it, know it's available. I think, was it Toyota, one of the ones I read about? I think Brandon Strecker did a case study in one of his classes on one that had failed. But high and low lift, I'm not sure if that's that style that one was, because he had an actual cylinder issue, issue running bad, and chased it, used end cylinder, and I think his vacuum captures to help him come to a conclusion. That would have been nice to get the vacuum, but I was out to chase a problem and see how it affected compression is what I wanted to know more about in this engine. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll cut it and try to make it something that's understandable and not garbage. Yes, it's me, the automotive doctor. I'm old, ain't pretty. Sharing a little info. Enjoying the ATS scope. And the Zeus is not too bad a tool. I'm not going to down it too much. It needs work. It's not quite what they describe it as, and of course end cylinder is not one of its strong points. That's why I'm not using it there. It will do the job, but I think it's safe to say ATS is in the class of its own when it comes to end cylinders. End cylinder testing. Alright, thank you. If you like it, hit the button, subscribe. I'm going to try to get more videos coming in the future.